Hi, this is another installment of Pivot Point Investors. I'm AC Cash, and this is JD Boom coming to you from our corporate offices in Atlanta. We're just here to keep you enlightened, keep you informed, keep you entertained. As Jonathan listens to his favorite artist, Chuck Mangione, in the background.
The year I was born, 77, you can't go wrong. 1977, boy. I'm telling too much.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm telling too much.
While the best year might be debatable, what is not debatable is the state of this market. Markets, they're going like gangbusters, and there's a reason for it. Yes. You know, they say success leaves clues. And there's clues to what led us to where we are now and indicators for the future. You know, I was driving up the street the other day and I was speeding a little bit. Don't tell anybody. I was speeding a little bit. You know, maybe 36 in a 35 zone, something like that.
Okay.
And so there were two joggers coming up the street and they waved, and then the lady gave me that sign like, oh, maybe you can drop it down a MPH or two. And I could have kept going, or I could have slowed it down. Well, I slowed it down. It wasn't 15 feet later that a deer ran in front of my truck. Just ran in front of my truck.
Oh, man.
If I was a little quicker, that deer and I might have got to know each other a little better than we should have.
Okay.
So the indicator was the lady waving and then giving me the, hey, take it easy sign. But a lot of times there's signs in the economy, in your finances, in your relationship that you don't take heed to. So as a starting point for how we invest, we always look at the indicators to tell us which way to go, what's coming up ahead. So not to give you too much in one installment, that's just a tip from Cash, just letting you know, look out for the signs. JD, what you talking about today?
Well, today, you know, I'm thinking about school is starting all over the U.S. You know, here in Georgia, my two oldest children, they're getting ready to go back virtually on Monday, the 17th. And so, you know, looking at stocks that all of that money is going to flow into, you know, virtual learning. Some schools and some communities and districts are doing hybrids, you know, weeks on, weeks off, in person. Online learning, you know, but my two kids, their school district has decided to do 100% virtual, you know, for the foreseeable future, you know, as we move forward in this first semester of school, right? COVID, we're still in a COVID world. So, but we got to teach the kids, we got to keep everything going in some semblance of what normal life is for us. And so when you look at that, the money still got to go and it's got to flow. So you got to follow the money. JD Boom is always saying follow the money. The money's not stopping. It's going to get spent somewhere, somehow.
For sure.
And so the smart investor is going to follow the money, and then those stocks, it will fall right into the stocks that are going to be the best, have the best upside potential.
So JD, if we're going to follow the money, where was the money flowing this week?
Well, this week or today?
Well, today.
Well, today, Boxlight. BOXL. And this is one that I found a few weeks ago, and I shared it with my partner, Cash, and had him look at it, and he gave the thumbs up. You know, he gave the thumbs up. You know, he's a little hesitant at first. He's like, well, maybe the money's already flown. But I'm of the opinion, and I think if you think it out, different companies, you know, they have different pay scales, different pay cycles, different pay intervals. However you want to term it, whatever you want to look at from that standpoint. So these districts are going to be sending checks this quarter into the last quarter of the year. So because it just depends on how long COVID goes, whether there is a vaccine. You know, we had news yesterday that Russia came out with one and they're going to start vaccinating. You know, that's a whole different subject.
That's iffy, right?
Yeah, that's a whole different subject, man. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I just say that to say, we don't know. And so it could very well be through December that, you know, this influx of cash is coming into these companies. And so Boxlight is a Georgia company. You know, it is considered a penny stock because it's less than $5 a share. I think it closed today at less than $2.50 a share, around $2.42, $2.43. But it popped and peaked at right below 27%. So 26.8%, I think, was the high for the day that it went up.
JD,
And-
we
yeah.
going too far into the weeds?
I'm going too deep for
What I want to know, JD,
Yeah, what's up?
is when you picked it,
Yeah.
where was the stock?
When I picked it, the stock was much lower than that. The stock was a little bit above $1 a share, I believe.
Dollar a share.
Yeah.
And where is it closing today?
I believe it was 242 today.
And how much time went by between that original pick and today?
A few weeks, not a long, extensive amount of time, you know.
So conceivably, the people that were following JD Boom, they could have saw doubling in their money in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Now,
maybe a little more than a couple. Couple is 2, I think, maybe 3. So yeah, but around that zone, 2 to 4 weeks, absolutely double your money.
yeah. So you could have kept your money in the bank account
Yeah.
and got
0.003% or
you could have followed
0.03%. Yeah.
Pivot Point Investors, specifically JD Boom on this one, and doubled your money in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
That's what watching the market, watching the signs, watching the indicators, that's what that can reap you. And that's what we want to get across today. Looking at the signs, looking around the corner, looking at the roadmaps. Sometimes you can see it yourself. Other times you got trusted guides like JD and myself to see ahead, look at all the tea leaves, and then see where things are going so that you can stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Boxlight is just one of many, companies, with online education, virtual learning, tutoring companies, language specific companies. Is really endless, that are all doing quite well right now. But again, that's why you need us. You need experts that can help you navigate, areas that you may not be as familiar with. A lot of times, and one of the old adages for Wall Street and for investing was, and even when I was in college, a professor said, invest in what you know. But, online learning, digital projection boards, all those are like new initiatives and new. So if you haven't had any direct experience with those, you wouldn't know to invest in them. So you need to have some experts you can go to that will go and bring some options to you that you may not think of yourself. It's easy to pick Walmart and Target and all of those, right? But what about companies like that have exponential? It's 10x potential. And for those of you, if you don't know what 10x is, you need to talk to this man right here because he can tell you.
Hey, we try to make pennies into dollars, dollars into tens, tens into 100,
That's
and
right.
hundreds into stacks.
That's right.
That's what we're working on every day here at Pivot Point Investors. Now, John, it sounds like you were giving stock advice. Are you giving stock advice?
No, these are just some of the things that we're doing as a recommendation, excuse me. It's just a recommendation from my standpoint, right? Or a option for you to take a look at. This is not a something that we're saying that you should do. You should always check with your own financial advisor, to get their input and, those that kind of lead you with your financial decisions. All we're saying is, hey, these are some of the, current fast moving options. And these are some of the industries that you could take a look at. And we have been successful, in taking a look at some of these industries, and some of our members have been successful, and that you may be successful as well. But it's by no means something that you need to, we're saying do this because we're not, okay?
And so on the behalf of Pivot Point Investors, I'm AC Cash. This is
JD
Boom, coming at you with a little bit of stock advice, stock tips, little things to let you know, hey, we're here for you. Reach out and touch us, and let's get together and make some bread together, okay? Take care.